welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60. Unfortunately, it's been a while.
It has. In fact, sorry for the delay, but if you have been following along, you probably know that we have been relocating, and that has just been a tremendous task. But today, it's going to turn around because we are finally back onto the Supercharged M5. I'm going to take it for a drive and see how it goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, since that last video that went up about 2 weeks ago, this has not moved. We intended to take it off the stands that afternoon, but just one thing after another, problem after problem. But today is the day. Before we go too far, I just want to thank everyone that's come over from the Skid Factory. Really appreciate those guys giving us a shout out, and I know a lot of you have come over and subbed, and we're going to try and not bore you with too much content, but we do promise to show you that we don't know what we're doing. So very contrasting to the Skid Factory.
Yeah, that's a given.
I guess we need to give them a quick walk around and show them what we need to do before we can go for a drive. So let me grab the GoPro off. So Dave, show us quickly what we're going to do to try and make this sort of roadworthy so we can take it for a quick drive.
Well, yeah, we've got a trade plate, so nothing is illegal, but we have got to make it sort of as good as we can for the road. Basically, we've got to get it up to road speeds and make sure that the drive line is okay in her, because that's sort of the heart of her now.
It's what's worth the money, really.
Yeah, and if it's no good, if it's clunking or whatever at 60 k's an hour, then we're going to have to change plans again. But basically, we do have another headlight, so we can install the headlight, put the front bar back on. Before we get that, the oil cooler that was repaired, that needs to be reinstalled as well, and just make sure that all the oil pressure sensors and everything are working properly.
What are you going to do with the rear end?
Nothing, that's good to go. Unfortunately, the boot doesn't latch properly, so we are going to have to fasten that down somehow.
Yep, and we've got to make sure the taillights work, and we'll try and work out if we can put the bumper back on. Just so people know, we're not going to drive this for a joyride. It's a quick, we're about 200 meters from the closest petrol station. We want to get some fresh fuel in it because we don't know how old this fuel is. So it's going to be a very short drive, but hopefully it'll be enough to work out that the drivetrain's good. Instead of filming everything going on, which is probably going to take about 2 hours, should we switch to a time lapse?
Let's do it.
So we have the front bumper on, and although it doesn't look like it's lined up properly, it is actually solid mounted. Headlight is also solid mounted with some cable ties. Unfortunately, all the mounts are broken on that, but is it going to work, Dave?
Definitely.
All right, we've had it on charge for about an hour just to give the battery a top up because it's been sitting here for a couple of weeks, but let's give all the lights a try. Still got ignition.
Okay, left indicator.
We have both front, and I can see the rear indicator flashing as well.
Sweet.
Do you know right indicator?
Right indicator.
That's flashing fast.
Yeah.
That means this one.
Hey.
Works on every BMW, that.
Fair to say.
Okay, and we'll just do headlights. Actually, well, we don't even need, well, we've got parkers. All parkers are working.
Then heads.
And we have headlights, okay?
Nice.
And tails. We have both tail lights and brakes. And brakes.
Got all three?
Yeah, all three are working.
Sweet.
Even got number plate lights. Okay, got the tray plate mounted. We have the rear bumper back on. Surprisingly, all of the brackets for the rear bumper were damaged in a rear impact. Who would have thought?
Strange. Yeah.
And I've installed an aftermarket crash impact zone here, so it's actually all solid enough. It's clamped on. It is clipped on. It's just not clipped on as good as it should be. Dave, I think we can start it up, get it out. Want to give it a wash before we go for a drive, remove all these
some of the
dodgy things. But I'll open it up if you want to take the charger off, and we'll pull it out. And we did just put about another litre of oil in it. I know that's not the right oil, but the good stuff will go in once we know everything's fine.
Actually, on that, all of the M5 people that have been commenting so far, what oil do you recommend? Because depending on, I've never had such a difference on the oil lube selector guides from the different oil manufacturers. Whereas, yeah, I'm literally being recommended from 530 to 1040 to 1060. Which I'm thinking I'm probably just going to go with the 1060 from now on. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know what other people are running theirs.
Anyway, is it going to start straight up? Check coolant. I did check the coolant before.
Definitely got coolant in it.
Sensor might be loose.
Check park lights, check front fog lights. Oh.
Nearly.
Works.
Sure, I'll go out the back. I think that'll do. So it's had a quick wash, just got all the, it was like auction dust off of it. And it looks a bit more respectable, apart from not having a bonnet. But our lovely new place turns into a complete mud pit in the rain, unfortunately. So we'll get it over onto the gravel and get some cameras on it. Okay guys, so we've got a bit of a break in the rain and we're going to take it for a run. Now we do know that the right rear wheel is not where it's supposed to be, so we don't want to go too far. We just want to really just make sure the gearbox, diff and the engine doesn't do anything it really shouldn't do, and just take it steady. But if everything feels alright, might give it a bit more. You got to get used to that clutch.
Sorry, well, look, I moved it less than all the other times. It's really bizarre. It's like sometimes it's I'll just rev it. Screw it.
Okay. Boot lid is open.
That's weird. I swear I shut it. Put that down a bit.
Okay, so we've got oil pressure, we've got boost pressure. Airflow meters, not airflow, bloody air fuel ratio is still not working. But everything on the factory cluster is doing what it should be doing. I think head down that way.
Yeah, I'll go that way and just
see. Oh, you can hear the supercharger.
Hear it clear as day, that's crazy.
Probably because we've got no bonnet on it at the moment. But no funny noises coming from the back, which is what I was worried about. There's not even any drivetrain noise at all.
No, it feels okay to be fair. Relatively smooth.
Is it going in a straight line?
This road's not very... So I won't comment yet. No, it pulls to the right.
It's very fuely. We have warmed this car up for probably 15 minutes. Mind you, it was off for about 10 minutes while we waited for the rain to stop, but it smells very fuely. Drivetrain feels solid. The way that engaged as the clutch came out then was a bit. Hope you guys can hear us alright, by the way.
It's insanely noisy for an M5, isn't it? It's stiff too, man.
Yeah, coilovers are stiff.
They are BCs, so it's wind them out, but
yeah, it's not what you'd expect for the big 5 Series. We were going to go and put some fuel in it. We've actually got nearly half a tank, and this fuel went in February. We actually found the receipt, so it's not too old. Does it feel like it's tracking all right?
It's incredibly bumpy. There's feedback coming from everywhere, like my bum, my elbows, literally everything.
The fuel. I've never smelt a car so fuely.
Maybe like an old carby V8 or something.
Yeah, that's what it sort of reminds me of.
Okay, on this road that feels much better. That feels a lot better. It's not pulling right either.
These are hard roads to tell, but
very old roads. God, it's a really rigid setup.
It is. Can't believe you used to daily this. Coolant temps, everything's doing what it should be doing?
Yeah, so far still not at running temp yet. That's not the...
No, it's a bit further. You can go up in here and do a UE. Would you mind just putting the parkers on? Yeah. Just so we can see the dash. Actually feels fine.
It does, I'm surprised. It's smooth.
Yeah, people are wondering, like, this car has got 300,000 Ks and been in an accident, so I didn't have high expectations for how it was going to drive, but it feels alright. It's stiff like my Evo.
I think it's stiffer, man. I think it's speed bump. Gearbox is a little bit... Well, it's not notchy, it's just tight.
Yep.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Just here's the turnaround spot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think I'm hearing a funny noise, but I think it's the supercharger.
Oh, it doesn't like grabbing first gear, I'll tell you that.
Really? Bumpers haven't fallen off yet. Ooh. And the gauge is flickering. Yeah, the reason we don't have the bonnet, just couldn't latch it at the front safely. There was one latch, but I didn't want to drive it like that. I'd rather just run no bonnet for this test drive. And I reckon you could probably just wind it on a little bit. I mean, not crazily, but just load it up. Okay, look. You cannot help yourself.
I didn't realise that second gear was happening. I stopped.
Oh. Dude, it comes to life, doesn't it? I mean, it's wet, but that went through the revs so quickly.
It wasn't much throttle.
Try and load it up without just running it all the way to red line.
Oh, actually, it wasn't red line. That was like just off idle.
Oh God, that was sick. Come look at this. Sounds angry.
It does sound very. It does. Yeah. Okay. It does come to life.
But it's not doing anything funny, is it?
It feels absolutely fine. The amount of fuel I can smell is. I've never even smelt an old school carbureted race car with this much fuel.
That's how you do it. Come on, give it a little bit. Oh man, it sounds so naughty.
I think it is very naughty.
Doesn't feel like 600 horsepower.
It doesn't even feel...
It feels like the M5, the E60.
Honestly, it feels about 500, hey.
Actually, just leave it parked outside and have a bit of a walk around. Leave it running for a sec. I just want to have a bit of a smell. Everything smells, seems fine.
Not so much fuel out here, that's good.
Yeah. Dude, of course. The boot doesn't seal. That's why we're smelling so much fuel. It'll be sucking straight into the boot.
And then, yeah, of course. Okay, yeah. Not so insane. They're probably still insane because obviously if they went past you, you would get that crazy fuel smell.
You happy with it?
Yeah, look, it's pretty smooth. It's idling pretty smooth.
Maybe shut it off. They might not be able to hear us.
It's all at temp. It's at temp. Oil pressure. It was pretty smooth. It wasn't lumpy.
So it's only taken 2 weeks, but we know the engine and everything is doing what it should be doing in that situation. You've ordered an oil analysis kit, but unfortunately the oil that's in there, because of the oil leak,
it's now brand new.
Yeah. So it's all got fresh oil in there already, but we do need to do another oil change.
The clutch felt fine, the diff felt fine. The gearbox, it felt nice except for getting back into first.
Didn't want to go into first.
No. I don't know if that is a normal for these 6-speed boxes, or maybe it just needs an oil change.
I think, right, we know it's safe. We're going to go and pick up the 535 body tomorrow, which is at the other place. And I guess, dude, you're going to have to get it to a panel shop and get them to see what it's going to cost to do a easy repair on this, not a concourse repair, and then start crunching some numbers.
Yeah, after driving that then, I'm leaning more towards that. We were toying with the idea of building an M5 wagon, but if I did that, it would be a special car.
Well, the second you started writing down what you're going to do, you're like, well, I may as well rebuild the motor, bloody pistons, sleeve the block, and you start shooting for the moon. Where this, if you can get it driving, if we can do most of the labour and just get someone to do the chassis straightening and the pulling, it might not be too expensive.
Especially after driving it then,
you just want to get in it.
It wants to be driven, I think.
That was exciting. That first one, when you first stabbed it, actually scared me.
Okay, well, I was a little bit flat before. It's been a big day. It's been a big week, but it's like I've had 2 coffees now.
All right, so tomorrow we're going to pick up the 535. We need to have a proper look at that and make sure it would be suitable as well, just in case there's issues with that. But we're going to need a few bits off that to fix this, like the boot lid, the rad support if you go this way.
Bonnet.
I think that left front guard's a bit wonky, so it might be easy to respray the black one. Anyway, we've got a few things to sort out, which we're going to do in tomorrow's video. Yeah, guys, we finally got it running. I hope you enjoyed that little quick snippet. You happy, Dave?
I'm pretty happy with that. I would just like to ask again if any other M5 owners know if that gearbox is normal getting into first gear, and also after you've seen it and heard it running on video, is there anything else that we need to check? Because I don't know, is that too good to be true? It's a bit of a monster. Sounded good, didn't it?
I'm almost speechless. Anyway, all right, we better sign this off. Look, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, there's more content coming. We're back in the game.
More, yeah,
We're back in the game. All right, guys, thank you very much.